Hello, beautiful friend. I'm so glad you're here. It's Chandi, and today I'm going to be showing off a absolutely gorgeous crochet shawl design for you that will have you dreaming of beautiful days spent by the sea. This amazing design by Elizabeth Myers is called Verano, which means summer in Spanish. And today I'm going to be showing you how to get started, how to work the different sections, and how to finish with this beautiful Picot border. This design makes me think of warm summer days, lounging by the ocean. There's a perfect warm breeze and the blue-gray waves are crashing on the shore. And since it's made in a sport weight yarn, it's very flowy and lightweight and summery. And check this out, even these adorable little picots look like little ocean waves. I hope this design whisks you away to a relaxing, tranquil space. Also, this design is a classic triangle, so it's so wearable and cozy, and it's easy to adjust the size to whatever you prefer. So this shawl is essentially two different textures that alternate, creating a really subtle, sophisticated look. This more solid section here, we chose to work in a subtle speckled yarn, and then this slightly more lacy version, we used a solid color. We chose to use our luster sport yarn for this. It is always a popular choice for shawls, baby blankets, sweaters, accessories, you name it. It's soft, shimmery, and long wearing. So if you would love to download this pattern with all of the details, hop on over to expressionfiberarts.com, and of course we will put the link in the description box for you. Also, while you're there on the site, be sure to sign up for email updates so you get free patterns and coupon codes. So grab a hook and some yarn and let's make a little mini version together so that you have all the techniques you need to make this shawl. To get started, we're actually going to begin here at this point of this triangle. So I'm going to show you the setup row as well as the row that you repeat for the rest of that section. To start our setup row, we're going to begin with a slip knot. Pop that on your hook and then do a chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now you're going to do a single crochet in the third chain from your hook. So count over 3, work your single crochet. So this chain 2 over here does count as a stitch. Now we're going to work a single crochet into the next 2 chains as well. 1 and 2. So that is our little setup row. Now we're going to turn and work row 2. To start row 2, work a chain 2, and this does count as your stitch, and this is really important. So you want to go ahead and single crochet in the very same first stitch. Now we're going to single crochet in each stitch to the end of our row. And you want to make sure on every row, so that we start increasing and getting a triangle, that you do work into that chain 2 on the edge. That way your rows will start increasing. So let's work that row again, chain 2, and turn of course. And you're going to work into that very same first stitch, and then work a single crochet into each stitch across. Remembering to definitely work a single crochet into that final chain 2 space on the edge. And you're going to continue repeating that to create your triangle. So continue repeating that row until you've reached 12 stitches total for this mini version. You will repeat this many more times for the actual shawl, of course. Once you've completed that, you have this center triangle completed. Easy peasy. Now I'm going to show you this section of the shawl, which includes picking up stitches alongside this triangle. To work row 1, you're going to start with a chain 2. And now we're going to pick up stitches along this side of our triangle. So I'm going to pick up 10 stitches. And to do that, you just insert your hook along the edge and work a single crochet. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. When you do reach the center, so this is that little first row that you worked when you started that first triangle, you're going to work a single crochet, a chain 2, and a single crochet all into that center stitch. Then you're going to take a little stitch marker and mark that chain 2 space because that is the center point of your shawl. Now, since I worked 10 single crochets on this side and the chain 2 space counts as a stitch, so that makes it 11, I'm going to work 11 single crochets on this side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, I'm going to get on this edge here, 11. Now we're all set up to start working our stitches in these stitches. Okay, to work row 2, this is a slip stitch row, so you're going to start with a chain 2 and you're going to turn and you're going to slip stitch in every stitch until you get to the center. And don't do these too tightly because we are going to be working into these slip stitches on the next row. So this is a nice easy mindless row. Just continue to slip stitch all the way till you reach that center chain 2 space, and I'll show you what to do once we get there. Okay, once you reach the center, go ahead and remove that marker, and in that chain 2 space you're going to work a single crochet, a chain 2, and a single crochet. And this is the new center of our shawl. Go ahead and mark that with your stitch marker. And then you're just going to go ahead and slip stitch all the way across to the end of your row. Nice and easy. And make sure you do work into that chain 2 space there on the end. Now for the next row, we're actually going to work into the slip stitches that we just created on the back. For row 3, you're going to start with a chain 3, 2, and 3. Now you're going to skip 1, single crochet, chain 1, and repeat that across to the center. So skip 1. And what you're going to do here actually is work into the slip stitches on the back. We're not working into the stitches here on the front. We're turning it a little bit and we're working into the stitches on the back. So skip 1 and insert your hook under both legs of that slip stitch in the back. Chain 1, skip 1, work into the next stitch. You're doing a single crochet, chain 1, skip 1, single crochet into the next one, and continue repeating that across to the center of your row. And when you do get to one stitch before the center chain 2 space, go ahead and work a chain 1, skip that next stitch, remove your little marker, and then we're going to work in that center stitch a single crochet, a chain 2, a single crochet. Now pop your little marker back in that chain 2 space to mark the center of your shawl. Now we're going to basically repeat across on this side what we did on this side. So chain 1, skip 1, single crochet. So skip that first stitch, and we're still working into the back. So we're working into the little slip stitches, single crochet, chain 1, skip 1, single crochet, chain 1, skip 1. And when you do get to the end, make sure you work into the top of that chain 2 space. And look at this ridge here on the right side we've created. I love it. And you can see it more clearly here in the actual shawl too. For row 4, we're going to turn and start with a chain 3. And then we're going to single crochet into this first chain 1 space. Now we're going to skip the next stitch, chain 1, and single crochet into the next chain space. And we'll just continue repeating that across the row. Chain 1, 1 single crochet in the next chain space, chain 1, 1 single crochet in the next chain space. When you get towards the center, finish with your chain 1, you're going to remove your marker, and you're going to do a single crochet, a chain 2, and a single crochet all into that chain 2 space. And again, go ahead and put your marker back into that chain 2 space to mark the center of your stitch. And then repeat across this side what you did on that side. Chain 1, single crochet into the next chain 1 space, chain 1, single crochet into the next chain space, chain 1, etc., all the way across. When you get to the end of this row, you're going to go ahead and single crochet into the chain 3 space on the end. And then you're going to single crochet into the second chain of that chain 3 space. This is going to make sure your edge is staying nice and crisp and you're getting a nice triangle. For row 5, you're going to start with a chain 2 and you're going to single crochet into the very first stitch. Now we're going to basically repeat what we did on row 4. Chain 1, skip 1 stitch and single crochet into the next chain 1 space. When you do get to the center, same thing as before, you're going to remove your marker. And in that chain 2 space in the center, you're going to work single crochet, chain 2, single crochet, and then repeat across this side, chain 1, 1 single crochet into the next chain space, etc. When you reach the end, you're going to go ahead and work a single crochet into that chain 3 space, and you want to make sure and work 1 into that second chain of that chain 3 as well. When you do get close to the end, you want to make sure and work your final little single crochet in this chain 2 space here on the edge. I'm going to go ahead and stop at row 6 to make sure I'm on the right side of the pattern for the next section, but there's a 7th row and it's essentially the same as the rows we've been working, just a little tweak at the beginning and the end. So you want to check the pattern instructions for that. So let's go ahead and move on to the next section. So this is going to be row 23 in the pattern. You're going to start with a chain 2, and this is a nice easy row. You're just going to single crochet into every stitch across till you reach the center. So every single crochet and every chain 1 space, work a single crochet. When you do get to the center, it's going to be the same thing as we've been doing. You're going to work a single crochet, a chain 2, and a single crochet. And go ahead and place your marker in that chain 2 so you know it's the center of your shawl. And then same thing on this side, you're just going to work a single crochet into each stitch across. When you get to the end, just make sure you're working in that very edge stitch. Don't skip that one. For row 24, this is another slip stitch row, really similar to the one that we just did prior. So you're going to start with a chain 2, and you're just going to slip stitch into each stitch across until you reach the center, where you'll work single crochet, chain 2, single crochet, and then slip stitch all the way along the other side as well. Now for the next row, we're going to be working into the slip stitches. So here's the row that you're going to repeat to create this section. You're going to start with a chain 2, and you're going to single crochet in each stitch, working into those slip stitches along this side till you reach the center. So just like we did before, you rotate your work a little bit so you can work into that slip stitch, and you're going to single crochet into each slip stitch along the edge until you reach the center. When you get to the center, go ahead and work your single crochet, your chain 2, in your single crochet, place your little stitch marker back in the chain 2, and continue working your single crochets across. And when you get to the end, just make sure you work in that very edge stitch as well. So essentially, you're going to repeat those sections to create this shawl. And when you're finished, you'll have this beautiful, luscious, flowing design. And if you would like to add a little extra special touch, you can go ahead and pop on this cute little picot border. So I'm going to show you how to work that. To work the picot edging, you're going to start with a chain 3. And you're going to single crochet into that very first stitch. Now you're going to work 3 more single crochets. 1, 2, and 3. Then in the next stitch, you're going to work single crochet, chain 3, single crochet, all into that next stitch. So that's what creates your little picot. So we're going to repeat that across to the center. 3 single crochets, 1, 2, 3, and then in the next stitch, create your little picot by doing a single crochet, a chain 3, and a single crochet. So let's continue repeating. When you do reach the center, what you're going to do is the next stitch, which is the run right before your center, you're going to work a single crochet, chain 3, single crochet, and then in that center space, you can remove your little stitch marker now. We're going to work a single crochet, chain 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, and single crochet. So that's all into that center chain 2 space. And then in the next stitch, you'll work single crochet, chain 2, 3, and then single crochet into that same stitch. Then you'll just continue repeating along this side what we worked on this side. So there you have it, my friend, a mini crochet shawl that is a great little practice swatch for the real deal. So you're now armed with all of the tools that you need to make this beautiful summer-inspired shawl. And again, be sure to check the pattern for all of the specifics. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I truly appreciate it. Have a marvelous day. Find some time to crochet today, and I'm going to see you next week with another beautiful pattern. Bye-bye for now.